itself to cover up the fact that the country's racist, dismissive treatment of indigenous people has been ingrained in all of us since the very beginning. It's literally in the Declaration of Independence, which reads, "He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions." From the literal moment of its conception, America cast its indigenous people as indiscriminate subhuman murderers put on earth by God to test the faith of white people. Thomas Jefferson wrote that. Ben Franklin did a punch-up. John Hancock couldn't fucking wait to sign it.
And so I just have I'd just like to hear your philosophical view on, you have the right to disassociate.
Yeah, I think freedom of association is an important part of the puzzle. And when it comes to artists, I'm still gonna listen to Kanye West, but there are artists, if I thought that by listening to them they were getting my money and that was helping them continue with nefarious behavior, I would draw the line there.
As a person.
As a person, I think on the freedom of speech, this doesn't really apply to Kanye, but what I've found is that usually if people want you to shut up, it's because there's something about what you're saying is true. Because if it wasn't true, it wouldn't be a threat to them. So I found that a lot of people want me to shut up, and that's if it wasn't true that, let's say, on the hill I died on, which was Andy No and the BLM riots and the deaths going on, and then the federal buildings being burned down, I wouldn't be a threat to them. They wouldn't need to shut me up. So actually, to take that thinking a step further forward, if you, and by the way, conservatives do this as well, everyone does this. If you want someone to shut up, actually the best way to do it is to deal with what they're saying, the part of what they're saying which is true, and actually confront it head on, instead of ignoring it. Because if you ignore it, it just turns into a bigger issue, and then more nefarious people, people with can take it on and do more damage with it. You have to deal with the difficult stuff. So it's not exactly an answer to your question, but I'm certainly a free speech absolutist. Do more damage with it. You have to deal with the difficult stuff. So it's not exactly an answer to your question, but I'm certainly a free speech absolutist. But with free speech comes the responsibility to confront the difficult issues.
Yes, totally. All of our rights have huge responsibilities, and we don't want. It doesn't seem like we want those responsibilities anymore. You know, just tell me what to say, tell me where to work, tell me what to eat, tell me how my temperature should be in my house, and I'm fine.
I'm guilty of that sometimes.
I think we all are.
Of the black man in America is beyond America's ability to solve. It's a human problem, not an American problem or a Negro problem. And as a human problem or a world problem, we feel that it should be taken out of the jurisdiction of the United States government and the United States courts and taken into the United Nations in the same manner that the problems of the black man in South Africa, Angola, and other parts of the world, and even the way they're trying to bring the problems of the Jews in Russia into the United Nations because of violation of human rights. We believe that our problem is one not a violation of civil rights, but a violation of human rights. Not only are we denied the right to be a citizen in the United States, we're denied the right to be a human being.
Mr. X, may I thank you very much for coming on our program and perhaps clearing away some of the cobwebs of misconception that some of us might have had about your belief. And I think you're a very sincere man, and it takes a lot of courage to admit a former belief is wrong, and we congratulate you for that.
Of the black man.
Are you anti-Semitic?
Anti-Semitic?
You've many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made it mention a couple of times about the Jews and everything, and I'm wondering if you are personally anti-Semitic.
No. How can I be anti-Semitic when the Arabs are half the Muslim world is Semitic? If I was anti-Semitic, I'd be anti-Arab and anti-everything else. No, I think that in this country, there's one mistake that the Jews make. They put themselves in a position where whenever anybody gives an objective analysis of the role that they play, they defend themselves by accusing you of being anti-Semitic. And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.
Are you anti-Semitic?
Martin Niemann was a German clergyman, a Protestant, who watched Hitler's rise to power as though he were a member of the audience. In 1944, as a prisoner in the Nazi death camp at Dachau, he wrote the following. In Germany, they came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Catholics, and I didn't speak up because I was a Protestant. Then they came for me, and by that time, nobody was left to speak up.